Hello everybody, I'm Serta and welcome back to Alchemy Factory. Well, in the last episode we started doing stuff upstairs and that was all to make the Mars. And I have the whole Mars facility ready. This is all the clay production. This is all the copper production down on this side. This is the iron production over on this side. All I really need to do now is attach the belts and put the catapults in and we can get some Mars going. That'll be pretty cool. And then we can start looking at other important things, like if we have a look at our progress tree. Lavender, perfume soap, and fertile catalyst, which looks like the next step up in the fertilizer builds that we're going to need. That is a bit expensive to make. It needs the unstable catalyst, but I have been playing around with that website that I shared in the last video with the Cauldron calculator, and I think I found ways that might help us make these builds not so big and complicated anymore. There are some amazing recipes that you can find, and the builds are way smaller. So we're going to start fiddling a little bit with that, have a look at some of those recipes if we can find nice ones, and maybe move to level 8. But I still also have a lot of cleaning up to do. I need to move my Jupiter setups. If we're going to be switching over to the growth potion for now, I'm going to need to start shutting down my existing fertilizer setups. They are taking up a lot of space and I would like to extend the shop out just one more block. Just one more. I'm still using a lot of the coke powder, so this facility is going to stay here for a while. It's not really in the way. Made it nice and tight, so it's not really an issue. So we'll leave it like that. I did build, if we go upstairs, I did build a coke powder factory upstairs as a part of this metal build, the iron and steel, because the ethanol need it when you start setting recipes for steel. There's coke powder, so we do need some of it still. So I've put one of those facilities up here. It's probably overkill, but I mean, it's not going to use or buy what it doesn't need. So I'm going to need to make sure that that is also plugged in. Anyway, there's a lot to do today, so let's get stuck in. Before we get stuck in, let's have a look at any quests that we could do. Yep, we could do that one. And some yeast powder. Yep, a bulk order I cannot do because I'm not making unstable catalyst or pocket watches. I actually need to start the pocket watches. They really aren't difficult to do. And oh yes, the sample request. I can actually do that because I did have a bit of gloom spore stuck in one of my boxes. So let me go and deliver that. And that will unlock the ability for us to get the gloom spore contract. Yeah, I'm just going to submit that one. That's out of the way. Let's sort out one of those, the random quest I can already deliver. And then I just need some yeast powder. And I have a box of it over here. Yeah, there we go. And with that in hand, we can go and deliver that one, which is going to be an extra little bit of cash for the day. We're okay on money. We're kind of doing all right. The belts are all full. Everything is flowing. I have been doing contracts. There have been a few good ones. This box still has coin in it. But yeah, I'm going to move this, I think, out of here when I eventually rebuild a lot of this. Because there are massive changes coming. Anyway, let's head upstairs and start connecting up machines. Right, so we're going to start on this side. This one is already set up and working. And the reason it is because I have a whole bunch of iron ingots that I'm trying to get rid of. So maybe I should take that over this way as well. No, I'm just going to set these up normally. But that does mean that I'm going to need to go and buy myself a whole bunch of seeds. I have 7 copper setups. They each need 2 sage and 2 flax. So let me get those. So that's 14 flax, and we'll do the same with the sage. Right, 14 of them. And then I'm going to just plant them all. And that is the last of that. Oh, and the day has come to an end. Oh, there you go. That was a pretty good day. So we continue. So I'm going to need to bring a line down the middle, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use catapults for the potions as well as the cash. And then the fuel, yeah, the fuel is on the front on these ones. I think I'll bring a fuel line through as well. Yeah. And I'll just, bugger. I need fuel on both sides. Only need fertilizer on one side. So if I'm going to bring fuel down this way, well, it's going to be a belt. And I'll just bring it tight to the front of all of this. Yeah, like this. Just take it all the way through. Ooh, it looks like I'm missing a couple of lifts. So I will just grab that one and plug those in. And then this is fuel line on this side. Nope, they all fuel. So connect that into there, that into there. Wow, this is going to chew up a bit of fuel. Right, the fuel lines are connected up on this side. Why is it not coming through? Because there is not enough of it. Let's go and see what happened to our black powder. Cut the belt off for some reason. Oh gosh, it's because it's all being used. We need to get blast potion onto that belt. Aha! Oh, that's going to be good. And I do have a bit in storage. I think I'm going to grab some because I want to save a little bit. We need that, and we'll just plug that in there. Yeah, we need that blast potion for the next level, I think. You know, I could honestly deliver it now. Anyway, blast potion should be moving up now. It is. Oh, you know what I can do? The one thing that I haven't used in this game that I could have used was these gelatinous gridlock. It's 100 copper, so it's very cheap. And I don't have space. They don't stack. But you can use them to fill up spaces that you don't want items to be in machines or in storage boxes. So if you want to limit the number of spaces, for example, if I come into here and I go, all right, I don't want you to, well, it's already full. This one? I don't want you to have 2 full stacks of blast potion. You really don't need it. And you as well. I'll just shove that in. I could put more in. But yeah, that will restrict it to less stacks. Just means that less will be going through. Anyway, I'm going to prime this side. There's still one step that I need to do with the copper and the bronze. I need to take them to a central location, which will most likely be somewhere around here, because these are the bars. I still need to make them into bearings and rivets before I can put them into this. The other side, the iron and steel, that is already set up to do everything. And that's also going to need fuel. I feel like I need to go and get more of those gridlock things. But you know what you can do? Hold on a sec. Where am I not going to have a line coming in? I think I might have messed up on the placement of this one. Yeah, I might have. Because I need that fuel to get over here. I'll figure it out. So somewhere where there's cash, maybe where I'm not going to get in the way of things. I'll put down a purchasing portal. Let's go like that. And put a box in. And set this to be the gelatinous gridlock, and then bolt that into there, like that. And we will start getting them. There you go. Now I can just grab a whole bunch as I need them and go and fill things up that I don't want to necessarily have filled up completely with the blast potion, especially these big ones. So yeah, I'll leave 1 slot. And then the little ones on the front I can limit to 1, because as you can see, it does eventually back up, but that's a lot of value on the belt. And with that, we've limited the blast potion to only 1 slot per furnace. And then I can come down the iron side, put 3 in each of these, and when I connect those, it won't be too heavy on the system. Right, so these are all prepped. It does look like we've hit hard times with our blast potion. Let's go and see what's happening there. Right, what's going on? Black powder. What's going on with black powder? Oh, we got jammed. Oh, right. Of course. I knew this would happen. So what I need to do here... Yeah, this is a really bad thing. There's a way to solve this problem, but I'm not going to do that now. Right now, I'm going to prolong the problem. Push it out. Let it become a future problem. All right, so we've got a couple of storage boxes. I'm going to get a belt from there and put it into there because we're backed up on the iron. And that's why the black powder stopped. Because we're getting black powder from sulfur. There is actually a better way to do this. And I think much cheaper as well. Anyway, that's moving again, so we'll start getting blast potion in. At least this is still working. That belt is still running. Yeah, these furnaces are being taken care of. So we're fine. Black powder's starting to come through again. Perfect. All right, let's carry on connecting up. So I actually do need to bring another belt up. And I'm not quite sure where that belt is going to go yet. But I think maybe this way. Because we have all the spare iron, it needs to come into the system. But there's no real way to prioritize. I've got it going into 1 at the moment. once we kick this off, it'll start moving nicely, but maybe I should do that into another one or two. Yeah, we could do it on this side as well. Maybe I should restrict it to this side because I can bring that belt up from the bottom, bring it around the back, and plug all of these in. Let the iron output come through onto the back of these. Yes, that'll work. That means I'm going to need to do some housekeeping. So we'll get rid of those, and we'll bring more half floors over. And then I could bring something like this up, and put it in there, and belt that into there. And just copy these over. Oh, outer rope. I don't know if, did I check for, I didn't check for requests. Okay, let's go and deliver that one. We are running out of time for it. Ah, bugger. My vitality potion stopped because I switched over to, temporarily anyway, I switched over to the blast potion, and now that's got clogged up in here. And I missed the end of the day, so I've lost that urgent contract anyway. Right, let's see if that fixes it. It does. Okay, we are back with the transformation potions. Well, there's a few quests that I can, well, actually I can do all of these random quests. And I think I have everything. So submit that one, and that's a biggie. And that one is pretty big too. Nice. Now, should I just do this main quest? I mean, it's going to start asking me for stuff that I don't have, but what the heck? Let's do it. Right, we have reached level 8. And I do need to drop off some cash. How are we doing here? I'll drop off my silver over there. Might as well drop the gold in over here. And we'll offload the copper coin as well. But that does mean that we have access to a whole bunch of new things. And that is all of this. And that also means the panacea potion, it's got a fuel value and a nutrient value. Does that mean that there's something that uses both? Is that the world tree? Maybe. Anyway, we'll get there. Let's not get distracted by the future. I'm going to... Right, I don't need to bring that iron over yet. And it does look like I didn't finish my blueprint. Well, that's a bit of a shame. All I really need to do is that and a bit of belt. Right? Why is the belt not connecting? Because I'm still too low. So that would go there and then that connects. Right. Now that's not going to be connected until we are using up our iron. But that does mean I need to do it to all of these. And this is the last one. Cool. Let's just update that blueprint. Let's see. Are we all fired up? Almost. We are getting there. So yeah, I'll bring that iron up. I'll plug it into the back of these and let that run. I might be able to divert some of this around that way as well, just to get these boxes emptied. In fact, that might be a good idea to do now. This will be a temporary thing anyway. So yeah, I'm going to bring this line all the way down, make sure that all of these are plugged in, and that goes on there. And then I'll bring that other line up. It'll come up next to these and tie into that. And what the heck, I might as well do it now. So we'll get a few of these guys in. So lab stands are sorted, conveyor lift, that'll go in there and head all the way up to match those. And I've put it the wrong way. That is correct. And then I can bring this belt out, and I'm going to need to bring it straight out over here because I still need to get the fuel line in here because I didn't plan this particular one really well. Oh, damn it. Well, I could change the direction, but then I'd need to break things down. That'll break things on top of things. Nah, not worth it. All right, well, I'll get back to this side in a bit, just after I've made sure that this is plugged in. Make sure that this line is actually going to work. We'll bring that to there. Take this belt. Oh, is that the right way? It is. So that will go out and just plug in there, and then this belt needs to go across and into there. That should be all of that sorted out. Right. So let's have a look at this side first. We're going to need to get lines out, but I am still going to need to feed things. We need one catapult per, and that catapult can go on that line, and I'll just bring these all in. And of course I need to extend the money line to about there. That catapult goes there, good. And then I can just set those targets. And these will all be going and bringing money in so we can buy iron ore. And that is done. I'm not going to bother with this one yet because I'm still going to use the iron out of the boxes, and I'll still have more downstairs that I can bring up, like in the original downstairs. And there's the iron ore. So let's have a look and see if everything's working. No, it probably wouldn't because I need to get the growth potion into the rest of these. So I'll bring that around, and it gets a little tight back here because I didn't allow space. But that's okay, we're going to be buying these buildings at some point, so we can extend over. So the growth potion line can go to there, and then I need to just grab these last lifts, and hopefully all of these things start getting fertilized. Yep, there you go. Things are starting to light up. This will get going. And then I need to bring the belt of bronze and the belt of copper. Now, the reason I'm doing them in a central location... no, I don't really need to do them in a central location, you know? I could just put the processors up here. And if I've got the space... Oh, that's right, I didn't have the space. That's why I wasn't doing them up here. Although... Ooh, wait. If I had wood, I could do this. Huh. Oh, geez, what happened now? Well, I have a backup of the advanced fertilizer, but this one for some reason has just stopped. Oh, it's because it's backed up on mushrooms. Huh, look at that. Well, I suppose I could use a box of mushrooms, but then I'd need some resources first. And the day came to an end. Yep, pretty good day. Pretty good indeed. Well, I'll take that. Happy. There you go. We'll get those flowing. Oh, I do have a couple of boxes up here already, and they're also full. Ooh, well, that'll be useful. Anyway, back up to the top. Let's go and get those items sorted out. Right, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to bring one belt out the bottom, and then I'm going to elevate one to go over the top of that. So do that, rotate, grab a couple of lab stands, and belt that out. And then set this recipe over here to be the bronze rivets. That is correct. And this one will be copper bearings. Oh, there you go. And then I'll copy that lot. It's exactly what I want to copy. Yep. And we'll go and tack that onto all of the others. If I had enough large wooden gears. Right, and we carry on. Good, those are all done. So I need to bring those two lines down. And I don't need to do any extra processing because I just need to really plug them into this. And this is not even where it's going to be, I don't think. So we'll remove it. And I think we'll bring it over to here. And we'll leave the walkway available. Bring that to there. And then I need to run these belts down in this direction. Let's see exactly how I'm going to get that to work. So we'll bring those out like that. And then we'll take the lower one and we'll bring it down to ground like that. And the upper one, I suppose, can also just be brought to ground. Then I don't have to waste nails on the lab stands. Plug that in, plug that in. I'm going to need to do something different on this side because it needs to do a bit of belt hopping. But yeah, this is not ideal. No, it's not. Right, my solution will be to bring this down onto a line and then raise that up and bring this one down over there. Right, and we can plug that in, and that one is already plugged in. And then I can take the lower belt and drag it out, and I'm going to bring it to there. Then I need to go and fetch more nails. And before I do the top one, I'm going to just drag belts. If I put that there, add that to that line and do that, that's fine. Then I just need to do a bigger one over there because, yeah, that's good. This one can then plug into there. That's not a bad solution. And that just automatically feeds onto this belt, which then allows us to automatically feed that one over. So I'll just drop these in, and that's in. Cool. Great, that works. Let's get the lower belt in. Just got an extra little piece from this side that meets up over here. So that'll bring in one of the components. There, lab stands all the way. Grab that one. This lab stand can come over here, and it can drop into there. So that's the second component once I've got belts in. Okay, those are all connecting nicely, and bring that across. That ties in. Now, has it started outputting anything yet? Probably not. Although, I do have everything set. What's not working here? Oh, the recipes. Now, these ones are supposed to make soap. Yeah, okay, let me go and set all of these. Fortunately, it's pretty easy with the copy and paste function. Let's see what's happening with this one. Why are we not getting stuff in? Oh, because I misplaced this. That's fixed. These furnaces don't have anything in them yet. Yeah, items are making their way down. The ones at the front do. All right, slowly things are coming through, and we have our first bearings and bronze rivets coming through. Oh, that day went fast. So end of the day, it was a bad day, a very bad day. So yeah, I'm not going to look at it. I should go and have a look at quests early on. So we've got, okay, yep, that's the problem. When you start unlocking levels, then it asks for things that you don't have. Now we need 450 bronze rivets. Should not be a problem. And that's good cash. We'll keep the wolves at bay. And I'll immediately drop it off. Just to make sure that the cash is flowing. And now we just need to get the nails and the steel gears down on this side. It should not be difficult at all. What I'll do is I'll bring the nails to ground. And then bring them through. And then I'll elevate the gears out as well. So we'll bring this down there. And we'll do this for all of them. There are only 4. And then this line is going to come along the front of these like this and go to there. There will be a belt coming through from here all the way under to there and then plugging into there. This will drop the top belt straight into that one, and the top belt will be this one going all the way around right to there. Perfect. And then I just need to sort out the connection. Actually, this last one wasn't really necessary, but that's fine. So we'll put that in. We'll make sure that that is elevated correctly. This belt can come through to there. We'll remove that piece. Oh, right. I still need to bring through the coke powder. That's no problem. Yeah, I'll bring that around the back. Fine. And then that into there. Now, this one we're going to need to feed. So I'll get a little catapult and drop it in on this line and link that to there. And that should be getting us coal if I set it to get coal. Wait, is it coal? Hold on a sec. It is indeed coal. So we'll do that. That will start loading those up, and then the output is over here. There is a stove here that needs to be fed as well. Actually, there are stoves over here that need to be fed too. That's just a little inconvenient. Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on this. It is working as it should. This is not backing up, which it shouldn't because it is pretty well balanced. And I'm trying to figure out where this black powder was going. I don't think it was going anywhere. Yeah, this could be a little bit of an issue. The reason is, this is producing 120. Each of these athanors uses 15. I would need 2 of these setups to feed these 4 machines. Huh. Yeah, I didn't really plan for that. Well, I need to go and collect some material if I'm going to make that happen. Right, let's build this thing. And I will do it over here. I'm not really worried about the space. Get the catapult in and feed that. Make sure the recipe is set. And it is coal ore. Right. Now I'm going to have 2 belts. This one will feed to the first machines. So that's 120. It'll feed the first 2 setups. Now there is going to be a little bit of a shortfall, but eventually I will change to using the blast potion. So I just need to get this over the belt. Why is there no output yet? All right, I need to give it a little bit of priming. So I'll grab a little blast potion over here and drop some into that one. And while I'm here, I'll drop a little into that one. And just so that eventually we don't clog things up, I'll put one of these gelatinous gridlocks in over here. But that's going to last us absolute ages. Right, and this is starting to come out. Good. So we will switch back over here. And I may as well bring those all the way through. I'll get rid of that bit over there and drop this one down. And then raise this one up like that. And then we just need to connect this belt in. And it'll split. And it'll do its thing. I set up that one right? No, I didn't. So that is the input. Yeah, that should work now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is all firing up. Things are moving out. It looks like it's going to work. Now I just need to get these nails out. Put them on a line. That way I won't clog the system up front. And then I can carry on finishing off what I was doing at the back. Right, these are all working now. I did have to make a little change because the last processor over here was pointing in the wrong direction. So nothing was coming through. And everything just got clogged up with iron, but that's okay. We are fine. And slowly these are priming themselves. These are working. We are getting the steel gears out on the belt now. And we have a few out. Good. Looking strong. So really I just need to connect these last two in. Get that in there. Raise that one up. And that one goes in there. And I believe those are all the components that we need for the Mars, which will immediately go into a large box. Just like that. Now all I have to do is set the recipe. Just want to make sure that everything is good. Yeah, we are looking fine. The iron is working. It's backing up. It shouldn't really be backing up. I think I'm making an extra 0.2 per minute of iron ingots that I'm going to have to deal with eventually. But all of this is going to get whipped out and changed. It's part of the process. You have to make these big factories to be able to then get to the point where you can make much tighter factories. But it does look good to see the wheels all turning. And that will improve as everything ramps up. Yeah, there's no problems with production. This is flowing like crazy. Yep. So each of these makes 3.8 per minute steel ingot. These are each using 3.8 per minute steel ingots, so that's perfect. These take 5 per minute of the iron ingots. That's 15. I have way too many iron ingots. That's all I can say. I'm overproducing iron ingots in a shocking way. So yeah, this is going to get clogged. I will have to deal with those iron ingots. Maybe I can find some kind of a recipe where I turn them into copper. Anyway, let's set this recipe and we'll start making the Mars. There we go. Everything is coming in and it's starting to work. Excellent. So I'm going to let that happen. Good. 1 every 5 minutes. And the blast potion is still struggling. It's coming through, but it's struggling. I'm not really worried because it's a huge amount better than the fuel that we were using. But over here with my little setup, I've obviously identified a couple of good recipes that seem to be working pretty well for me over here. They are absolutely perfect. As long as I don't run out of coin, which I might if I don't plug them in, but this will back up to like 5,000 and I don't want to put 5,000 silver coin in here. So yeah, I'll just keep an eye on that. Make sure that that last port. This is the thing with cauldrons. You have to overproduce initially so that when the product is made, you don't run out of one of the items because another one that is overproducing will fill that slot and it'll change the recipe to something else, which you probably don't want on your belts. Anyway, let's go and check out the recipes here. Random quest. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Bulk order. Can't do. Topaz, not even there yet. Pocket watches. You know, I really could do that. Let's have a look at those pocket watches and we'll do a little setup. I'm not going to do a full production for it, but there it is. It takes steel gears, copper bearings, and glass. I have that in abundance. It's made in an advanced assembler, and that's what an advanced assembler looks like. So we could put that down, have a little output box, and then maybe just 3 little input boxes. So good, I have the stuff. We'll put the steel gears in, 2 stacks. We'll get the bearings in, 2 stacks of those, and then the glass, which will empty faster because this uses 3 times more. But in the meantime, hey, we're making pocket watches. And we have our first one in. There's 2. Good. Let's grab those. I think I needed 5 for the upgrade. Let's have a look at our table. Inventory upgrade. Oh no, I only needed 2. Cool. Well, let's halt to craft. And see how that helps my... There's another inventory level. Oh, gosh. And I've produced a Mars. Good. Okay, so obsidian and lapis lazuli. But hold on, how big is our inventory now? It's huge. Look at all that extra space I've got. Flippin' great. Just when I don't really need it, because from now on I'm going to be focusing my builds around using the crucible. Because I found some really cool recipes. And I'll find more and I'll share them on my Discord. But since this is my little staging area, if we put down a furnace, and if I can afford a cauldron, which I can't, because I need some bronze bars. So we'll grab the cauldron and put it over there. So I'm going to show you a recipe for black powder. Yeah, let's have a look at the black powder. This was, I think it's about the nicest one I've found. And if you remember what black powder is, we have to make lime water, we have to make charcoal powder, and sulfur. Sulfur is not really an issue, but it's a bit expensive with the pyrite. This was the build for the charcoal powder, and then this was the build for the lime water. So yeah, about that much space. And a lot of bits and pieces and moving parts, and you can make mistakes easily, as I have demonstrated previously. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Now, if you use a cauldron, if we head over here and we throw some planks in, and we throw some large wooden gears in, and some copper bearings. Look at that. We get black powder. Now, copper bearings, those are pretty easy. All right, the wood is obviously extremely easy because basically you would need to make more than 10 of each of these per minute, which means you probably need 20 wood, and a table saw makes 30. So put a table saw down, load a log onto it, split the output so that half of it comes out as just plain planks, and the other half can go into making large wooden gears. Through one of these guys, I think, will be enough. So let me go and grab a log from my pile. In fact, this doesn't even need to be this far over. But maybe, actually, I haven't even thought about a layout for this, but just showing how small the facility can be. So we slap a log on to this, belt into there, and belt there. This makes 20 per minute, which is more than enough for what we need. We actually only need 10 per minute, so this is a bit of overkill. Maybe we remove that and just put the small grinder in. So that will be the large wooden gears. That'll be the planks. The next thing we need to worry about are copper bearings. Now, we have silver coin all over the belt, all over the place. So if I was to say, let's see, how's this laid out? Not the best, but that's fine. I'm going to get these two first components in the meantime. We'll do that. We'll need to have a lab stand over there. Bring that belt in. This thing is not playing ball with me. There, it's in. We'll need to bring some fuel in here. That's why I left this open. Then I can take this one and... oh gosh, the end of the day has come. Probably another not so good day. Yeah, very bad. Anyway, I'm not concerned about that right now. We'll bring that in. That will be the large wooden gears. Now we need to get the copper bearing. So we've got silver coin over here. I was to bring one of these guys, change this to copper. I will have it in just stacks of 50 is fine. There's one thing I need to do before I can do that. There's a research I haven't done. I know it's available, I just haven't done it. There it is, the copper ingots from coins. You see where I'm going with this one. We'll grab that belt. So that is going to make us copper coins. And this you're going to be using, this kind of thing, you're going to be using a lot with the cauldron. From what I've seen, the recipes are pretty cool. And then I can rotate this, throw it in there. Okay, we finished doing that. Let's go and see how we do it. So it'll be a material. There it is. And it's done in a kiln. All right, so we need another kiln. Drop that over there. I'm going to put a box over here because we're going to do something with that. Maybe two. Grab a kiln like that and then bring this up, rotate it in and belt that across. So that's going to bring copper coin into the kiln, and we set the recipe here to be copper ingot alternate, and that is going to be making 5 per minute. Oh, that's not enough. 5 per minute's not enough. But if you put it into a processor, which I'd do if I had large wooden gears, which I could just grab some out of here like that. Oh, right. I didn't connect the wood in before I move along and forget about that. And of course, I run out of nails while I'm doing it. So that can go like that, and then we can bring that belt. What, have I got this? Wait, I think it's possible I have this in the wrong direction. Let's try that again, like that. And then the belt. It doesn't like to play ball sometimes. There. Right, so we've got the wood. We have the gears coming in at 10 per minute, so that's safe. It's more than the 9.5. That's what you're looking for. That means we need to get at least 10 bearings. And if we put a processor down over here, just plug it straight in, set this recipe to bearings, we're getting 10 per minute. And then all I need to do is connect this up, belt over there, and plug that in there. Now, this is not working, obviously, because I haven't fueled the furnaces. So I can do that by dropping in... Oh, I don't want to drop much in. We'll drop one in there. That'll last a while. Over here, I might want to drop in a little more because the cauldron chews up fuel super quick when it eventually starts working. In the meantime, yep, this has started. We're going to get our first 10 in. And there they come. So now this will work to create 9.5 black powder per minute. Now, granted, my setup upstairs is making far more than that. But look how tiny this is. I mean, I could compact it even more. Bring things together and not have belts and not have elevators running up all over the place. But look at that. We're getting black powder. And obviously I need to output it. So we can do that and stick on a box just to get the output. And there it is. That is 9.5 black powder per minute. And it is pretty small. Now there is a cost involved obviously, but there would always be a cost involved regardless. This cost is over here. We need 5 copper ingots per minute from 2,000 copper coin per minute. So we're looking at 400 copper coin per ingot. But there you go. I thought that was a pretty good one. I found a couple more. I will share them in future episodes. And I'll try and refine the builds for these. Make them a bit tighter, a little bit better. Some of them I might need more than one cauldron. I'll sort that out. Some of them I'll need more kilns. Or more table saws or rock crushers. Oh, look at that. I've got a whole bunch of pocket watches. Wonder if we can do a quest. No. Well, no, I can't do that. That one, I could have done that. I forgot about that one. I had it queued up. Now they're already asking for the Venus. Darn it. And I can't do that. Gosh, I can only do one. One Saturn, one Jupiter. It's okay, I have plenty. In fact, I should take all of those and go and drop them into my shop. Maybe I can have a better day soon. So let's go and deliver that quest. That one. 320 silver, that's not bad. I'm carrying a little bit too much cash on me, so I'm just going to drop it all off. And another thing I haven't checked for a while is how many diamonds I have. It's been going for a while. Only 7. Yeah, it's very slow if you are not using the quartz. But then also I seem to be not getting any... Oh, you know what? No, there's absolutely no reason this shouldn't be working. These ones are, but now these two aren't. And why is that? Because they are not receiving... Oh, that's right. I turned these off. Actually, maybe I should just... No, I've got a better design. That's why I did that. I'm going to take all of these down and replace them with the new stuff. Part of my cleanup operation. So good. Not only do we have a really easy recipe for the Oblivion Essence, which we need for the Blast Potion. I mean, that one is terribly simple. But yeah, that's 2 wood and a silver coin. There is a little checkbox on the website, on the Cauldron calculator, to allow duplicates. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. There are other recipes. I will find a lot of the good ones, as many of the good ones as I can find. Sort of try and see if they are profitable. I think most of the time they are going to be. The only major cost is the fuel. But even with this recipe, it's not much. I mean, that's only 30 parts per second or whatever it is, which is low compared to the other ones that I've seen. But there you go. I mean, we're making black powder in a tiny little facility. And if I double this up, I pretty much get what I'm making upstairs. So there you go. I have pocket watches on me. Let me see if I can shove them into a rack. Yeah, I can. Oh, they take quite a few. Yeah, let's sell those. I can't imagine they're too valuable. Let's see what they priced at. 2,000 copper. That's not too bad. Can add some diamonds in there. We're at 92 reputation. But yes, the layout is going to change completely. I'm going to be switching as much as I can to using the Cauldron. It'll mean that I'll probably need to move some stuff around. See if I can find a better clay and brick alternative to what we have here. This is chunky. Although I have remade this and I've got a nicer version that just makes clay. It's not bad. So yeah, there'll be more cleanup. There's a lot of cleanup in this game. You just, as you upgrade, you're going to be breaking things down, and it's pretty cool like that. But it's extremely deep. I mean, there are literally thousands of alternate recipes, variations of everything that you make. Well, almost everything. There are a lot of things that the Cauldron doesn't allow you to make, but you can make things in the Cauldron to help you make those things, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing a lot with that. Let's go and see how we're doing with our Mars. Yeah, we may have a bit of a problem later on with the steel gears, but they seem to be flowing okay now. Oh, there we go. We have it. We have a Mars. We have 4 in the box, and they go for 2. Oh, I'm going to sell some of those. Holy cow. And the experience is 126. So I'll stop using the other ones for experience. I'll use them only for the shop, and then use, as we tier up, I assume that the Venus, the next one, is going to be more. So yeah, this is that. This is the Venus. That's the next relic. Oh gosh. 510 experience. And it gives you 10 gold coins. So basically 500 silver coins. That's lovely. Yeah, we'll be looking at all of that in the next episode. In between episodes, I'm going to see if I can figure out some good recipes that we can use. Some that are really cheap. Why are we not getting any? Oh my word. That's just not right. I forgot to set recipes. This was ages ago. Ages, and I didn't even notice it till now. All right, well, we probably don't need it. I mean, we are totally clogged on growth potion. I need to replace all of our fertilizer with our growth potion. So that'll be happening soon as well. It's a far better fertilizer. But I think that's where I'm going to leave this one, folks. If you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts. And let me know if you found any really good cauldron recipes. I have a few that I am sitting on. After I've used the cauldron calculator, I would prefer to test them to make sure that they actually work, you know. Mistakes can be made by people, but it is getting to the point where I'm going to start looking at buying these properties across the road. It's 1,000 silver coin, and this will be, I assume, the same. 1,200. Oh yeah, and that first one is 800. So pretty expensive, but I have the cash, so we could build over. And then we'll also eventually get to looking at the world tree and see what that does for us. But this game is very deep. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, cheers!